Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And today we're talking about smooth whiskey. What is it? Companies use it in their marketing. Newbies don't know how to describe whiskey any other way usually. And whiskey nerds hate the term. So let's talk about it.
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
Today we're talking about smooth bourbon. Smooth whiskey. What does it mean? Why does it matter? There's a lot to unpack with this. It's a seemingly easy topic, but there's more to it than meets the eye. It's not a Transformer. Nonetheless, bad reference. Let's get into our first sip first. You know we got to get this first sip in.
Let's do it.
What is the first sip? It's a segment where we try something for the first time. We've never tried it before, and it's totally blind. And it's chosen at random out of our blind sample pool of single sample pours. So we don't know whether we're supposed to like it or not. Some of this stuff is allocated. Some of it is expensive.
Some of it's available
and inexpensive.
Yeah.
We've had some pours really surprise us. Let's see if this is one of them.
All right.
Cheers.
All right.
Dark fruity sweetness.
Smells. I was thinking dark. That's the first word that came to mind was dark.
Dark fruit though. Like when I think dark in bourbon, it smells like a bourbon.
Yeah.
But when I think bourbon and I think dark, I tend to lean more towards like the chocolate candy bar profile.
So you're thinking dark fruit.
And this isn't that. This is more dark fruity, which is not something you get a lot.
Like a black cherry or a plum, something like that?
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't know. Let's get into the taste.
Okay. Kind of tastes dark and fruity as well.
Yeah, it stays dark.
Not super sweet, but fruit-like?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Tempered sweetness. Much more tempered sweetness than I thought it was going to be based on the nose. Yeah. As soon as I took a sip of this, I was like, she's going to like this.
I like this.
Yeah. It almost has like a little bit of earthiness to it. Almost like a dirt taste to me.
I love me some earthiness. Not gonna lie.
You've thrown that out there before, but like there's almost like
it's a wet pavement taste to me.
It's like a piece of dark fruit that you dropped into the dirt and then you picked it up.
5 second rule and then you ate it.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of don't hate it.
Well, it's been more than 5 seconds since my last sip, so we got to get back into this.
I am getting some oakiness on the. It hits me at first, but it hits me in my the middle of my tongue.
Yeah.
But it's the first thing I get, and then it goes away.
Yeah, it's dark and heavy. The oak came through more on the second sip. It's funny that's the first thing you mentioned because I was experiencing it as you were saying it.
Yeah.
Much more oak on the second sip. It is definitely in that like dark plum raisin zone. And it's very rare that I get that in a pour.
I wouldn't say it's a raisin. I get what you're saying, why you're saying raisin, but I hate raisins and I don't hate this.
You like plums?
I love plums.
Is this a plum?
Yeah.
Okay. Which, you know how this goes, guys. She's right.
But I get why you're saying raisin. I get it.
One more sip.
Yeah, this is pretty good. There's something else I'm getting that I can't quite put my finger on. It's like...
Is it that thing right on the front?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. It's almost like I want to say pencils.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of stuff going on in this glass. Just to be totally truthful, I mean, there's the classic bourbon stuff in the middle. Like, I can even go like red apple, caramel, vanilla, oak, but then wrapped around that core is this dark fruit element.
I think the dark fruit is kind of at the back, at the end, and then there's something else at the front.
And then it's sitting on a foundation of oak. Like the oak is almost a thread that ties all the classic bourbon stuff together with these dark fruit elements.
This is insane. This is a wild ride. I'm here for it though.
Do you have your scores?
Yeah.
Are you ready? All right, let's get into it. So nose, flavor, experience. Where are you at on this pour?
Thumbs up on the nose. Thumbs up on the flavor. Actually, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up on experience because it took me on a very enjoyable ride.
All right. There you go. I'm going to give it thumbs up on the nose, thumbs up on the flavor, thumbs up on the experience. I do like it. It's not something that I would reach for super often. I got to be in the mood for what this is.
It's a mood pour for sure.
Yeah.
But it's a good one for me.
For what it is good. It's different.
Yeah.
And that's saying something because there's a lot of times where we sip something and we're like, tastes like bourbon.
Yeah.
You know?
It tastes like everything else.
This tastes like bourbon, but there's more going on there. So,
and I feel like it might be pretty high proof because I'm still feeling it.
I don't know. I don't think the proof is that high. Like it's coming across like it's a good proof point. Like
I'm guessing it's like 110-ish.
I think it's less than that. I think it's more around 100. It's a good proof point. You get a good concentration of flavor. I'm not getting any alcohol on this almost at all. Like if it is so faintly alcoholic, it's almost cocktail-esque. There's a lot of stuff going on in here.
It's not very sweet though. I feel like cocktails are more sweet.
That's true, but some cocktails are bitter.
Yeah.
Like this is leaning more towards that Boulevardier.
Yeah, but it's not.
I want to make a Boulevardier with this.
Bitter. It's good though.
All right, let's find out what we've been sipping.
Let's do it.
So this is everything makes sense now.
Why?
This is Joseph Magnus Triple Cask. So this is a bourbon that's been finished in 3 other casks.
That's why you get
all that other stuff.
So many different things.
100 proof. 100
You're right.
proof.
You're right on the proof. Good job.
Also, guess what? How much that cost matches the proof point.
$100?
It's a $100 bottle.
Oh, wow.
Feel different about it now?
Well, it would be a special bottle. It would be something that I would get
I'm getting so much more brown sugar on the nose now.
To be a special pour. It would not be my everyday pour because it is a wild ride. We got 3 distinct vignettes with it. You know? Like we couldn't figure out what they were exactly, but there was 3 distinct things going on there and it was cool. So I'm ready to get into retail and consumer score and talk about if we get it.
Yeah, so let's get into our real world metrics here, which are our retail and consumer scores. Retail being the price and availability, consumer score being whether or not we would buy it again. So it's a $100 bottle. It is readily available in our market. Where you at on retail and consumer?
So it is getting just okay on retail. $100. Not super cheap, not super expensive, not the cheapest either. But I would buy it. It's getting a thumbs up.
You're a thumbs up on a $100 bottle. That's saying something.
It would be my special bottle.
Okay.
It would be a special pour.
Okay.
So it would stick around for a long time. I wouldn't drink it all the time.
Okay. I'm giving it a just okay on retail as well. The price point is a little higher than I would like for what it is, but to be honest, it is a unique pour.
It is.
And to be totally fair, that triple cask finish that they put on it, I don't even know what the casks are. I would imagine one is sherry. Now that I know what it is and I take a sip of it, it reminds me of like a sherry, like a scotch that's been aged in sherry.
Interesting.
Like sherry butts. So I can see where the cost comes from involved in this product.
Yeah.
So I'm not knocking the price at all. It's just more than I would like to pay for what it is. So that's why it's just okay. Would I buy it again or not? I think you like this more than I do. So I'm going to give it a just okay on consumer score.
That's fair.
There's other things I'd rather buy with $100 personally speaking, but it is a very interesting pour. I'm really glad we got to try it. Shout out to Phil and Julie from the Bourbon Van for giving us this sample.
They gave us this. You guys, if you're not, we've said this before, but we're going to say it again. If you're not subscribed to the Bourbon Van,
you're crazy.
And you like our channel, you'll love their channel. So go subscribe.
Check it out. Like Erin said last time we mentioned this, subscribe or else.
Or else. I'm coming at you.
And if you don't want Erin to come at you for other stuff, then check the video description below for a link to our Patreon. And I'm just kidding about that, but the Patreon link is where you can get
plugged in. I'm all bark, no bite.
Yeah, that's where you can get plugged into our channel. We've got everything from our community element to a spreadsheet that has all of our scores for all of these blind pours on it. We have for our bonus content tier, we do 2 additional episodes every week, and they're a lot like this first sip, except a lot of times they're not blind and we know what we're tasting. And
we also do some international like scotches. We do we've done
we got all
Irish,
kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Irish a little more. We branch out a little bit more on Patreon.
Yeah. And if we get new bottles in that we're super excited about, this blind randomized format doesn't let us get to those as quickly as we'd like sometimes. So we do that stuff over there on the Patreon channel. And we also do blind flight nights quarterly where you can get a blind flight and we can hop on a private live stream together and do that with the community. That's a ton of fun. And monthly live streams for our Patreon community as well. So check all that in the video description below.
And while you're in the video description below, go ahead and hit that like button on your way down there.
It's a short trip.
It's a short trip.
You're gonna go right in the middle. Right past it.
Yeah. And if you're not subscribed to us, you can subscribe there too.
Yeah.
Do it.
There's a button there for that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our main topic, okay? Let's get into the smooth bourbon discussion.
You do that, I'm going to finish this.
Is this a smooth whiskey?
No, it's not smooth.
There is a lot going on.
It's very balanced, which is normally what I call smooth, but there's a lot going on, so I wouldn't call it.
It's a roller coaster of flavor.
Yeah.
So let's define what a smooth whiskey is first and foremost. Now, like we said at the beginning of this episode, distilleries and whiskey producers use smooth in their marketing campaigns, and whiskey nerds hate it. But to be totally honest, you know what somebody means when they say smooth. Even if you hate the term, you know what they mean. But
and it's a term that newbies don't know any other way to describe.
Right.
Easy sipping whiskey. And
we said it and we have a link below to our related videos, the smooth whiskey blind flight that we did. A lot of times when you ask somebody that's new to whiskey or hasn't been into whiskey too long, or maybe they've been into whiskey for a long time, but they're not like analytical about it, and you ask them what they like about their favorite whiskey, usually the very first thing they say is, it's so smooth. And what they mean is it's easy drinking, it's not sharp. And I personally, I like a big burst of flavor. I like a very flavorful pour. I don't like smooth pours personally, because I find them to be lacking in flavor, unless there's a ton of flavor there and it's just really balanced.
And for me, when I say smooth, I'm meaning balanced.
No sharp edges.
No sharp edges.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times smooth can get a bad rap because people automatically think smooth means low proof.
Yeah.
For me, that's not what I mean at all. I can be drinking. I mean, we did a head-to-head recently with 130 proof, 130 and 128 proof.
Yeah.
And they were both, I would call them both smooth.
Yeah.
They were very balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. So it really comes down to understanding what the person is trying to communicate.
Yeah.
So rather than maybe bagging on the newbie because they say, oh, it's so smooth, ask a follow-up question. Like, what do you mean by that? Do you mean no alcohol burn, or do you mean more balance? Because I think those are the two parts of the equation. This is a two-sided coin.
Yep.
You have your newbie element, which means no alcohol burn, something that's really approachable and easy sipping. And then you have your other part of the element, like if somebody like us says smooth, what we mean is that more balanced pour. I think bagging on people talking about smooth whiskey, I'm not sure it's the right move. You do you. If that's the way you want to roll, knock yourself out. But I think you can be an ambassador to whiskey if you're dealing with somebody that's newer to the hobby and they say they really like something, and you ask them why they like it so much, and they say, oh, it's so smooth. Follow up on that.
Follow-up question, yeah.
Yeah, and what you may find is they're really enjoying that lack of alcohol burn, and they might be able to enjoy something that is much more flavorful, like 100 proof or 110 proof or 120 plus proof.
Yeah.
If you can find something that's balanced for them. So don't poo-poo smooth right off the bat.
Yeah.
Some follow-up questions are necessary.
All right, that's it for our main topic this week. Let's get into some other stuff.
Well, I figured we're talking about smooth whiskey. We might as well talk about smooth faces, which I do not have.
Because I won't let him.
But I do have a smooth neck.
He can.
I do have a smooth neck. And we're going to talk about some traditional wet shaving stuff. So this is very gentlemanly stuff. But
so should I just peace out?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
You can just hang out.
I'll just hang out.
Hang out and have some. Oh, you drink all yours.
I'll sit back.
But when it comes to this type of thing, I have a nostalgia for this because I grew up with my uncle taking me to like an old school barbershop where it smelled like a barbershop. We went and saw Mr. Kennedy once a month. He trimmed us up. He did the straight razor on the strop, and he shaved your neck when you got your haircut.
That's cool. I've never heard that story.
Oh yeah. We went to see Mr. Kennedy down in Springfield, Tennessee's like little town square area.
That's cool.
And he would get his haircut, and I'd look at the Car and Driver magazines. And then I would get in there and I would get my haircut, my comb over. Aww. It was a whole thing.
Josh was a cutie.
I'm very nostalgic about this. But if you're somebody who likes to sit down with a glass of whiskey like I do, and you like to smell it and you like to taste it and you like to take your time with it, and it is a relaxing sensory experience for you, then I want to posit that you can skip the Mach 18 blades or whatever Gillette is up to these days, and you can actually have a whole other relaxing sensory experience in the shaving world.
Okay.
And it's not intimidating. You don't have to get a straight razor. So I'm going to put a link in the video description below for Maggard razors. Sounds like a terrible name. Sounds like Haggard.
Kind of does.
Yeah. But Maggard razors is a great online retailer. You can also find a lot of this stuff over on Amazon, and I could hit you with affiliate links down there if I wanted to. But Maggard can get you everything you need in one concise spot. They offer a really just knockout deal on a starter kit.
Do you have something to show us? I want to see a starter kit.
So with the Maggard razors, you get one of their razors, which this is not. I don't have a Maggard razor.
Okay. But
this is a Merkur 39C. This was the razor I started on. This is called a safety razor, and that's what they look like. So this particular one, you just unscrew the bottom, you take the top off, you put the blade in, and then you screw it back. And it's called a safety razor because it's harder to cut yourself with this than a straight razor. So you need to take a minute to watch a few videos on how to shave with a safety razor, okay? A double-edged safety razor. But it's really about the angle, and you don't want to be like this, like, but you don't want to be so far, you just want to, and let the weight of the razor do the work. Okay. So before I had a beard, I shaved my whole face with these, and I can do a straight razor as well, but I don't like them nearly as much as I like a double-edged safety razor. Okay. So the Maggard razor is a great one that comes in the kit. That's $45 shipped.
The whole kit is $45?
The whole kit. Oh. And it comes with a razor, a brush, shaving soap, blades.
Show us what else.
So
I love kits. I'm all about getting easy stuff combined together. Less work for me. You
get blades in there, which these are wrapped up. They are razor blades, so they're very, very sharp. Now the bonus here is that for $45 you get this initial kit. You'll pay $45 for a pack of Gillette Mach 18 blades. These are like pennies on the dollar, like 10 cents, and they last for several shaves, and then you replace them when they start going dull. But it's after the initial investment, it's much cheaper. These are Astra blades. This comes in the kit. Okay. But I really like these Persona. They're called Persona Med Prep blades, but it's this blue package that says Persona Super. These are very sharp, so I maybe wouldn't start with these, but Persona Med Prep and Feather blades are kind of like the gold standard, and they're still dirt cheap. Like you can get a box of these for a few bucks. Sweet. So forget paying all that money to Gillette. Save that money. Enjoy your shaving experience. Have more money to spend on whiskey. That's big brain
Josh's
thinking.
Mind is.
That's big brain thinking. So the other thing that comes in it, this is an Edwin Yeager silver tip synthetic fiber brush, but the Maggard kit comes with their own brush that is a synthetic brush. And these synthetic brushes, I've had the badger hair, I've had the boar's hair. Those are great. This synthetic is so much easier to upkeep. You just dip it in a little water, shake it out.
Easy's where it's at.
You get you some soap, and this is actually Maggard soap. And this is what turned me on to Maggard, this London Barber Shop.
Oh, can I smell this?
You can.
So when he does this stuff, it's a very light, he's got several, actually many shaving soaps, and it leaves just a very light scent. Yeah. And it's there, but it's not overpowering. It's very pleasant. Yeah. I'm not going to, as someone who has smelled him after he shaved, it's a pleasant smell.
So you can actually get this exact soap in the kit that is in the video description below.
London Barber Shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get your razor, your blades, you get your silver tip synthetic fiber brush, and you can get the London Barber Shop if you like that classic barbershop scent. They have like lime and bergamot. They have they have all different kinds of scents. You can pick your favorite. But this stuff lathers up super easily. And again, I'll even find a good wet shaving tutorial and put it down there in the video description below so you can watch that as well. There's a whole section. Now, what doesn't come in the kit is any aftershave or lotion. I tend to just put like a scent-free lotion on my neck after shaving, just to kind of calm the skin a little bit because you are dragging a blade across it. But I really love this fine accoutrements aftershave.
I really like it too.
I have many different scents. This is a classic barbershop scent to go with the London Barbershop.
Got it up my nose.
Yeah. So next tasting video, she's going to be like, this smells like a London Barbershop.
Yep.
But I'll get you some aftershave, add that in. Really, honestly, for $50 or $60, you can have a whole kit. And when you shave, you get to slow down, take your time, just like you get to slow down with a glass of whiskey. It's a ton of fun. The stuff smells great. You come out smelling great. Your significant other thinks you smell great.
You're looking great. You're smelling great.
You're feeling great.
What more could you want?
Exactly. All right. That's it for this week, guys. Hope you like smooth bourbon, smooth faces. And we'll be back next week with another episode just like this.
Cheers.